Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Pradipika and today I will show you how I painted this lotus flower. So let's start. As always, I will start with the sketch. I have my A4 size watercolor paper cut in half. I am drawing a stem first and then a horizontal circle and a vertical circle, which will be my guide for how wide and tall my flower is going to be. From here, I will refine my sketch. This particular petal is coming towards us or towards the viewer. And the lotus petals are mostly half open. And this flower is not completely bloomed. Similarly, I will draw all the petals. It is important to have a proper sketch before you start painting. So this one took a lot of time for me. We can see just the top of back petals or the petals that are behind. Now I'm just adding petals here and there to balance the flower shape. Some people can draw from their memory, not for me though. I have pulled out a pic from Google, I'm looking at it and I'm sketching. Also, some people prefer to trace. I, however, like to draw my own sketches. If I am going too fast for you, you can always play it in slow mode or replay or pause it. Refining my sketch, adjusting few things here and there. Now I'm just adding a leaf. The lotus leaves are big and wavy and circular. And I am adding the veins in the leaf now. The sketch is done and I am lightening it a bit with my eraser. I am ready with my Winsor and Newton COTMAN watercolors, my brushes, a jar of water and a paper towel. First I am mixing permanent rose color for the flower. And also cadmium yellow color separately. I am going for wet in wet technique and I am wetting my flower with just clear water. The backside of the petals have a lot of yellowish tint at the bottom, so I am starting with the yellow color first. I am re-wetting the areas as it has started to dry and applying the first layer of yellow color wherever I see according to my reference pic. rewetting the flower again. Now I am applying the first light layer of permanent rose all over the flower. The tips of the petals are pointy and darkest pink, so I am doing that now. Also, since the paint is wet, it's bleeding, and as you can see, I'm trying to lift up some paint with my clean damp brush. Next, I am mixing Hooker's Green Dark for the stem, and I painted the stem wet and dry. For the leaf, I am taking a watery wash and painting it. For the watery wash, I just dipped my brush in water and loaded it with water. Not too much though. As you can see that the paint from the stem is bleeding. I should have waited for it to dry. However, now it is done already. I will try to make it better later. Adding and adjusting few things in the flowers which I had left white. I also decided to add few more petals here as I felt it looked incomplete, and I added them directly with the paint. Now I will let this dry for a while. The first layer is dry. Now with my number 4 brush, I am making these thin lines on the petal. The lotus petals have these lines following the shape of the petals. Using the tip of my brush and putting very light pressure, you can use a number 0 brush if you are more comfortable with that. Here I am outlining the petals. Going in for each petal. Following the curves of the petal. You can always move your paper as you go along. I am painting this lotus flower with mostly just one color, that is permanent rose. I am just going to change the color values from lighter to mid-tones to darker tones. painting the petals more pointy and dark on the tip. Again adding the thin lines. Now while the flower is drying, I am moving on to the stem and darkening it a bit more with the same Hooker's green dark. Now comes the shading part. What I am doing here is I am mixing two versions of permanent rose, one dark pigment and then a lighter pigment. Now I am glazing the petals with more lighter wash, and then on the tip I am dropping more dark pigment. So now we have dark, mid and lighter tones all in one petal. I am going to do the same thing for all the petals. Here with my clean damp brush, I am just smoothing the paint. First I am painting the petal with lighter wash, and then on top I am dropping the darker pigment. I am trying to avoid doing adjacent petals until the earlier ones are dry because I don't want the paints to bleed. Here I drop the paint at one side and then on the other side with my clean damp brush I am just smoothing it. Dropping the dark pigment on the right hand side. So now I am going to do all the petals same way. First glazing them, then smoothing the paint and then dropping the dark pigment on top. I know it's a lengthy video, but I didn't want to fast forward it too much because then it would be difficult to follow. And if you decide to give this painting a go, I would love to see yours. You can email me or tag me in Instagram. All the information is in the description box. And now with my Hooker's green dark, I am making these veins in the leaf. And now I will let this all dry for a while. The earlier layer of the painting is dry, and with my hooker screen dark, I am going for another layer on the leaf. Now with the permanent rose color, I am adjusting the tones of the lower petal, giving it more darkness. And with my number 0 brush, just adjusting the edges or darkening the edges of the petal here and there. So this is it. This is how our lotus flower looks now. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe for more weekly videos. Thank you.